Gossip. It's the unwelcome guest at every party, the shadow lurking in the hallways, the whisper that follows us through life. From the schoolyard to the boardroom, gossip is an inescapable part of the human experience. We've all been touched by it, whether as a participant, a subject, or a silent observer. It can be as subtle as a raised eyebrow or as blatant as a shouted accusation. It thrives in the shadows, feeding on speculation, half-truths, and outright lies. But despite its pervasiveness, gossip is rarely a force for good. More often than not, gossip leaves a trail of hurt feelings, damaged relationships, and eroded trust. It's a corrosive force that can poison even the strongest bonds. And yet, we often feel powerless to stop it. But what if we could change the narrative? What if, instead of being swept away by the current of gossip, we could learn to navigate its treacherous waters with grace and resilience? Subscribe to our channel for more content on mastering gossip management and building stronger relationships. Gossip's power lies in its ability to wound. Words, even when whispered, have the power to inflict deep pain. Like a virus, gossip spreads quickly, infecting minds and shaping perceptions. It can destroy reputations, shatter friendships, and create a toxic environment where trust is impossible. Why do we engage in something so destructive? The answer is complex and multifaceted. Sometimes gossip is a way to feel connected, to bond with others over shared information. It can be a tool for social climbing, a way to elevate ourselves by diminishing others. And sometimes it's simply a way to alleviate boredom or fill the silence. But regardless of the motivation, the consequences of gossip are undeniable. It creates a culture of fear and suspicion where people are afraid to speak their minds or be themselves. It undermines teamwork and collaboration, replacing them with competition and backstabbing. Gossip is a betrayal of trust, a violation of privacy, and a form of emotional violence. It's time we stop dismissing it as harmless chatter and recognized it for the destructive force it truly is. Gossip can be as subtle as a raised eyebrow or as blatant as a shouted accusation. It wears many masks, making it difficult to identify and address. Sometimes it disguises itself as concern, cloaking judgment in a veil of faux empathy. We might find ourselves saying things like, "Did you hear about Sarah? I'm so worried about her," when in reality we're relishing in the drama of her situation. Other times, gossip masquerades as humor, using sarcasm and wit to tear others down under the guise of a joke. It's important to remember that gossip is not defined by the information itself, but by the intention behind it. Are we sharing this information to help, to warn, or to hurt? Are we speaking from a place of genuine concern, or a desire to feel superior, informed, or entertained? By learning to recognize the different faces of gossip, we can start to dismantle its power and create a more positive and supportive environment for ourselves and those around us. The first step to mastering gossip management is self-awareness. We must examine our own relationship with gossip. Why do we engage in it? What triggers us to participate? What role does it play in our lives? Perhaps we gossip to fit in, to feel like we belong to the group. Maybe we use it as a defense mechanism, a way to deflect attention from our own insecurities. Or perhaps we simply enjoy the drama and excitement it brings to our otherwise mundane lives. Understanding our motivations is crucial because it allows us to interrupt the cycle of gossip. When we're aware of our triggers, we can make conscious choices about our behavior. We can choose to step away from conversations that make us uncomfortable. We can practice saying, "I'm not comfortable talking about this," or "Let's focus on something more positive." Self-awareness is not about judging ourselves for our past mistakes, but about empowering ourselves to make different choices in the future. It's about recognizing our own capacity for both harm and healing, and choosing to use our words to build others up rather than tear them down. One of the most effective ways to combat gossip is to address it head-on. This can be uncomfortable, especially if the gossip involves us directly. However, choosing directness over avoidance can be incredibly empowering. If you hear someone spreading rumors, gently but firmly confront them. You can say something like, "I'm not sure where you heard that, but it's not true," or "I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. Let's talk about something else." If you're the subject of gossip, don't be afraid to address it directly with the person spreading the rumors. This can be done in a calm and respectful manner. You can say, "I heard you've been saying things about me. Can we talk about this?" Remember, you have the right to defend your reputation and set boundaries. Direct communication, while sometimes difficult, is crucial for clearing the air and preventing further misunderstandings. Gossip often stems from a place of insecurity, fear, or lack of empathy. We might engage in it to feel better about ourselves, to gain a sense of control, or to belong to a group. However, by choosing compassion, we can break this cycle of negativity. Instead of judging the person spreading rumors, try to understand what might be motivating them. Are they feeling insecure? Are they seeking attention? Are they simply repeating something they heard without considering the consequences? When we approach gossip with compassion, we can respond with kindness and understanding. We can say things like, "I understand why you might be upset, but I don't think spreading rumors is the answer," or "I'm here for you if you want to talk about what's bothering you. Remember, everyone makes mistakes." By choosing compassion over judgment, we can create a more forgiving and supportive environment for ourselves and those around us. Boundaries are essential for protecting ourselves from the harmful effects of gossip. This means being selective about who we confide in and what information we share. It also means being assertive about what we're willing to listen to and participate in. If someone tries to engage us in gossip, we have the right to say no. We can politely but firmly excuse ourselves from the conversation, change the subject, or simply state that we're not comfortable discussing the topic. It's also important to establish boundaries with people who consistently engage in gossip. We might need to limit our interactions with them, avoid sharing personal information, or even distance ourselves entirely if necessary. Remember, protecting our emotional well-being is not selfish, it's essential. Establishing healthy boundaries allows us to create a safe and positive space for ourselves and those we care about. Gossip thrives in environments where trust is lacking. Conversely, open and honest communication fosters a sense of safety and respect, making gossip less likely to take root. We can contribute to a culture of trust by being transparent in our own communication, admitting when we've made a mistake, and taking responsibility for our actions. We can also encourage others to do the same by creating a space where people feel safe to speak their minds without fear of judgment or retribution. Active listening is another crucial element of building trust. When we truly listen to understand, not just to respond, we create a space where people feel heard, valued, and respected. Remember, trust is built one interaction at a time. By being truthful, reliable, and supportive, we can help cultivate a culture where gossip has no place to grow. Before engaging in gossip, we can benefit from practicing perspective taking. This involves putting ourselves in the shoes of the person we're talking about and trying to see the situation from their point of view. How would we feel if the roles were reversed? Would we want others speculating about our lives, judging our choices, or spreading rumors about us? Perspective taking allows us to develop empathy and compassion for others. It helps us recognize that everyone is fighting their own battles, facing their own challenges, and deserving of our kindness and understanding. By considering the potential impact of our words on others, we can make more mindful and compassionate choices about what we say and how we say it. Choosing not to participate in gossip can be challenging, especially when everyone around us seems to be doing it. However, it's in these moments that our integrity is truly tested. Remember, our words have power. They can either contribute to the problem or be part of the solution. By choosing to rise above the fray, to resist the temptation to engage in negativity, we set a positive example for others to follow. It's not about being perfect or never making a mistake. It's about striving to be better, to make choices that align with our values, and to use our voices to create a more positive and compassionate world. Remember, every time we choose kindness over cruelty, empathy over judgment, and understanding over assumption, we contribute to a world where gossip loses its power and genuine connection thrives. Imagine a world where communication is rooted in honesty, respect, and empathy. A world where people feel safe to be vulnerable, to share their stories, and to support one another without fear of judgment or betrayal. This is the world we can create if we choose to silence the buzz of gossip and replace it with the music of authentic connection. It starts with each of us making a conscious effort to be more mindful of our words, to choose kindness over cruelty, and to speak up against injustice and negativity. Let's challenge ourselves to be part of the solution, to create a world where gossip is no longer the norm, but a relic of the past. A world where trust, respect, and compassion prevail, and where the only whispers we hear are those of love, encouragement, and support.